A very good morning once again. Welcome to the Rogers Kakasungura YouTube channel. I'm really impressed the way you are supporting this platform. We are headed to 153,000 subscribers. I know our target of 200,000 is possible. So if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, kindly make sure you click the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. It's on a Sunday, a happy Father's Day. We have two categories of fathers. We have responsible fathers and deadbeat fathers. But in this particular case, allow me to say a happy Father's Day to all responsible fathers out there. I mean fathers who pay rent for their family, fathers who have built homes for their families, fathers who have bought family cars for their family, fathers who pay school fees for their children, fathers who go for school meetings, class conferences. Those are the fathers I'm talking about in this particular platform. Happy Father's Day to all hardworking Father's Day out there. And if you could wish to wish any of the fathers a happy Father's Day, bas, you can send us with a surprise to pelekea baba yako. Anyway, welcome to this platform. Tuingie katika siasa. Ladies and gentlemen, the CCTV footage that was released yesterday from Mbagathi Hospital, it is exposing some hidden secrets in the whole issue of Albert Ojwang's murder. In the fullness of time, without sacrificing the juniors, we are going to know the real culprit in this murder. In the fullness of time, the gods of Ojwang are working very hard to make sure that the people hiding behind juniors to run evil schemes will be exposed in broad daylight. If you missed that video footage, I want to play for you before I speak what I wanted to speak in this particular video, because I have my view on that particular video, and it's a report that was compiled by Citizen TV Kenya. So allow me to use the Citizen TV Kenya report before we proceed. This is how Citizen compiled their report through their reporter Gatete Njoroge. Can we have a look at this? And then don't move. I'll be back after it.
In language interpreter tonight is Yula Nzale. We begin this broadcast with revelations regarding the murder of Albert Ojwang. Exclusive CCTV footage that Citizen TV obtained corroborates a Mbagathi Hospital report that stated that Ojwang was dead at the time of arrival at the hospital. The 40-minute video clip indicates that the police were well aware of Ojwang's state as they arrived at the hospital at 1:35 a.m. and were in no apparent hurry. They took him inside the facility 24 minutes later with no medic helping the police officers move his body from the police van into the building, where they only stayed for 10 minutes before his body was taken back to the vehicle. Gatete Njoroge stays on this developing story.
At exactly 1:35 a.m. on June 8th, CCTV footage at Mbagathi Hospital captures a police van driving into the facility. Inside the van were 3 officers. One of the officers was the driver. 2 officers got out of the car and could be seen conversing before making their way inside the hospital. The driver followed behind slowly, but even before they got to the emergency room, one of the officers received a call and the others followed him out. For 3 minutes, he was on the call before returning into the hospital building. All this time, the late Albert Ojwang was at the back of the police van. No one checked on him despite the officers having supposedly taken him to Mbagathi Hospital as a person who was gravely unwell. At 1:40 a.m., 2 officers were captured walking inside the hospital, searching for medics. 6 minutes later, they emerged with a stretcher and they got straight to the van. It took another 10 minutes to move him from the police van to the hospital. With the help of the security guard at the facility, the late Ojwang on a stretcher was pushed inside the facility at 1:59 a.m., 24 minutes after he was brought to the facility. Inside the emergency room, Ojwang only stayed for 10 minutes, those in charge confirming the worst. The suspect was brought in dead. Mbagathi Hospital incident report indicated that on examination, Ojwang was unresponsive, had no cardiac activity, and that his entire body was cold and face was swollen, and with injuries. He also had a cut at the back of his head. At 2:10 a.m., the CCTV captured the officers leaving the emergency room with the body of the late Ojwang. 5 minutes later, the police van left the hospital parking with the corpse, which was later taken to city mortuary. Why were the officers not in a hurry to ensure he was attended to? Who were they talking to on their phones at a time when they were supposed to be busy ensuring he was attended to? Meanwhile, interdicted Central Police Station OCS Talam, who is being held at Langata Police Station, has denied being at the Central Police Station when Ojwang was booked, claiming he had handed over duties to his deputy.
He handed all the instruments of his office. He handed over the pocket phone for communication to his deputy. We shall be producing CCTV footage to show that he was nowhere near the police station called Central Police Station.
The lawyers who have also disputed the claim of Talam interfering with the CCTV say they will move to the High Court to challenge his prosecution, claiming he is being framed. Gatete Njoroge.
Now, why did I bring this report here? I brought this here. I know you've seen it, but that is not the issue. My whole issue is we now know what is happening. I told you, without even arresting a technician who disabled the CCTV system at Central Police, without even arresting him, without even arresting the officers on duty, we can be able to know who exactly committed this crime. If our DCI officers are very serious, if our EPO is very serious on this issue, we do not need to play drama for us or for the EPO to be seen as working. You see, let me take you to the CCTV footage. The CCTV footage itself is exposing the 3 police officers who went with a Land Cruiser trying to dump the body of Albert Ojwang at Mbagathi Hospital. They tried their best. They wanted to sneak him in, admit him, and left to die, but Mbagathi Hospital remained true to professionalism and said, we cannot admit an already dead person back to the sender. So police officers are coming. The 20 minutes we are being told is not that Albert was breathing, according to me and from the CCTV. It is not that Albert was alive. The police knew they have killed Albert already. So the police officers in that CCTV are the people should be arrested by the IPOA. Watuambie ni nani aliwapatia mwili wa Albert wapeleke hospitali. Simple as that. We don't need much drama. Mimi niliwaambia kutoka kitambo. Hii drama mnaonyeshwa hapa is trying to cover up some things. IPOA wangetaka kushika hawa watu, wangewashika kitambo within even the same day. Hii CCTV footage ya Mbagathi, IPOA could have not waited for the media to give them. They could have been the first people to access the footage because waliambiwa Albert alipelekwa hospitali. IPOA has not gone to that hospital to claim that CCTV until Citizen went for it yesterday. You see how reluctant our officers are in dealing with matters that are touching the seniors. Wale maaskari watatu, ile 20 minutes wana delay huko, wasiwadanganye. To me, the 20 minutes they were calculating how they can admit a corpse in hospital. Yani, wamuingize tu, aingie kwa kitabu ya hospitali. Mtu amekufa. So, hata wao walijua Albert amekufa. That is why they were not bothered. That is why hawana haraka. Because wanajua after all, wako na mwili. Because Miss Cassidy wanasema the body was already cold. So meaning Albert had already died. So these guys hawana haraka. Naona watu wakicomplain ati si wange save life kwa hiyo 20 minutes. No, there was no life they were saving. The life they were supposed to save already had been lost before even they arrived at the hospital. That's why they look unbothered. Hawana haraka kwa sababu wako na mwili. Sio mgonjwa, wako na mwili. So we ask the IPOA, the 3 officers to be arrested, watuambie hii mwili walitoa wapi, ni nani aliwapatia, na ni kwa nini wanaleta mwili hospitali. You know, hii kitu ingeisha kitambo. Lakini kwa sababu watu wanataka kucheza namna hii, wacheze namna hii, wacheze namna hii, wacheze namna hii. But there is God in heaven who fights for his people, who fights for the weak, who fights for those human beings cannot fight for. That is the God we have in heaven. And God was there. He was not asleep. That's why I told you, in the fullness of time, everything is going to be exposed in broad daylight. God bless you. Send the next episode. Asanteni sana.